Good morning, students. Welcome back to Atmiya Green School. I'm Afrin Sayed, your English teacher. Students, we are done with the explanation of colorful shoes. We have completed our course book exercise, and I hope, students, you have even completed with your homework as I have said. I hope you all have written those emails. Okay, now today I'm starting with worksheet. So I request you to take out your um, workbook, and I'll start with worksheet 3 from your workbook. I'll start with worksheet 3 from your workbook. So I'll request you to take out your workbooks, please. Students, I request you to take out your workbooks, please. You can pause the video and take out your workbooks. Open page number 21. Open page number 21 of your workbook. Open page number 21 of your workbook. Okay. On page number 21, you can see that there is a comprehension given. There is a comprehension given. Now in comprehension, what we have to do, whatever comprehension is given, we have to read it once or twice. We'll read once or twice. Better to read it twice. So what we'll do is, we'll read the entire comprehension twice. We'll read it 2 times. Then on page number 22, you can see there are some question answers given. So what you have to do is, you have to read once you have completed reading comprehension twice, then we'll move forward towards comprehension. We'll read the question and then search for the answer in the comprehension itself. Means the question are related to this paragraph or to this comprehension only. There is no question which is out of this comprehension. So it is necessary that you understand this comprehension well, and after that we'll keep reading the question, and along with the questions we will get the answer, because once or twice we have already read the comprehension. Now it is easier to get the answers, it is easier to search for the answers once we have read it, once we complete reading the questions. Okay, students. Okay, so I'll read the comprehension for you. All your books, all your eyes in your books, all your eyes in your books. Listen me carefully, students. Comprehension, kittens complain. So the title is Kittens Complain. I repeat, the title is Kittens Complain. In winter, when the air is chill, in winter, when the air is chill, and winds are blowing loud and shrill, and winds are blowing loud and shrill, all snug and warm, I sit and purr, wrapped in my overcoat of fur. In summer, quite the other way, I find it very hot all day. But human people do not care, for they have nice thin clothes to wear, and does not seem hard to you when all the world is like a stew. And I am much too warm to purr. I have to wear my winter fur. It is written by Oliver Herford. Okay, I'll read it again. In winter, when the air is still and winds are blowing loud and shrill, all snug and warm I sit and purr, wrapped in my overcoat of fur. In summer, quite the other way, I find it very hot all day. But human people do not care, for they have nice thin clothes to wear. And does it not seem hard to you when all the world is like a stew and I am much too warm to purr? I have to wear my winter fur. So what it is written is that here there is a kitten who complains that in some in winter I am always warm because of the fur I have on the body, but in summer I feel very hot, but I cannot do anything because I have to carry my winter fur. And humans do not care because humans already have their thin clothes to wear. So this is a complaint of a kitten. Okay, now we look. We have read it once. We were able to identify the words. We read it twice. We were able to understand the meaning of the poem. Okay, now we'll move towards the questions which are given regarding the comprehension. First question says, what are the two seasons the kitten is talking about? So look, in this, of course, I have given this answers on the screen, but it is very much easy to search for the answer from the comprehension also. In comprehension we can see that there are only two seasons which are being talked about. First is winter and other is summer. So what we'll write is, look, the you have the answers on the screen. All your eyes on the screen, students. The kitten is talking about the winter and the summer. The kitten is talking about winter and summer, and we have the answer in the comprehension also. We have to find the answer from the comprehension, students. Okay. Now, we'll move towards the second question. What does the second question says? How does the kitten describe the winter? So, in comprehension, look, here, in winter when air is still and winds are blowing loud and shrill, all snug, warm as, here, loud and shrill. In winter, when the air is still and winds are blowing loud and shrill. So, first two lines are something which describes the winter. Okay. So, we got the answer from the comprehension itself. Okay. So, what the answer says on your screen, students? The kitten describes winters as a time when there is a chill in the air and the winds blow loud and shrill. Okay, students. So, you saw that there are no words which are out of the comprehension. You have to find the answer to your question from the comprehension itself. Okay, hope you are clear. I'll move forward towards question 3. Do you think the kitten likes one of the season? Okay, there is one of the season which kitten like. If yes, which one? How do you know? So students, what do you think? Which season do kitten would be liking or like to have? So answer on your screen, students. The kitten likes winter better than summer. Yes, because the kitten is complaining about the summer. We can see in the paragraph itself, if you can see on the comprehension, that kitten is complaining about the summer, but kitten is happy with winter season. Okay, so here it is given on the screen. The kitten likes winter better than summer because she has an overcoat of fur that keeps her snug and warm. So on the third line, you can see third line of the comprehension says all snug and warm as seat and purr. So that is something which kitten likes. But kitten does not like summer season. That is very, very clearly mentioned because he has to carry her, um, she has to carry her winter fur. Okay, kitten has to carry her winter fur. So she does not like the summer, but she loves winter. Now, fourth question. Who does the kitten compare herself with? Why? Okay, students. In the paragraph, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In seventh line, very seventh line, but human people do not care. So to whom she is complaining? Of course, to humans. Okay. So on the screen, the answers are, students. The kitten compares herself with humans. She is unhappy because unlike humans who can wear thin clothes in summer, she has to wear her thick coat of fur despite the summer heat. And there is something very much clearly mentioned in your poem itself. Okay, students. I hope I am very much clear. Students, we are done with question 1, question 2, question 3 and question 4. And we have seen that all the 4 questions we easily got from the poem itself. What the steps are? You have to read the comprehension twice. Then read the question, find for the answer in the comprehension. And you can frame the proper sentence and put it into the answer. Okay. Now, the next is question 5. Why does the kitten say when all the world is like a stew? Okay. Why does the kitten says that when all the world is like a stew? Because She is describing that the entire world. She is describing that entire world is very hot and people are wearing their thin clothes. I have to wear that winter fur, that the winter fur which gives her warmth during winter season. She has to carry even in the summer season where there is a terrible summer heat. Okay, students, so answer on your screens. The kitten says when all the world is like a stew to describe the summer heat. Stew is being used to describe terrible summer heat. I hope I'm very much clear, students. Now, we'll move towards question number 6. What is the question that kitten asked? Do you think there is an answer? Discuss with your talking partner. Okay, so this question is a homework as you have to write it on your own. What is the question that kitten asked? What's the question which kitten asked? So the kitten asked, when all the world is like a stew. The kitten asked whether it is fair that she has to wear her coat of fur even in the summer. What question does the kitten ask? That is it fair to wear her coat fur even in the summer? Okay, so do you think there is an answer? So do you think that you have any answer? Then you have to answer that question. Okay, so you'll write this question on your own. Students, question number 6 is a homework for you. Now, we have already learned about verbs and nouns, students. I have already discussed verbs and nouns with you. So, I am giving you 5 minutes. Pause the video, take 5 minutes, solve the vocabulary, that is 23. Then I'll discuss the answers with you. But for the 5 minutes, first of all, what you'll do, you'll pause the video. Okay. Once you pause the video, read the question. Okay. What does the question says on page number 23? In each of the following, the same word is used once as a verb and once as a noun. Just we did it in our course book exercise. Okay, what does happen is that they are using the same word, once like a noun and other one is like a verb. Now you have to identify which one is being used as noun and which word is being used as verb. Answers, the pronunciation, the spellings of the questions, spelling of the words, both are similar, but they are being used in the different contexts. Once it is used as a verb and other time it is used as a noun. Now you have to identify then when it is used as a verb and when it is used as noun. Underline the noun. You have to underline the noun and circle the verb. Students, pause the video and start doing. On my count of 3, you'll pause the video and solve the exercise. As soon as you complete your exercise, you can play the video. I'll give you the answers. Okay? Okay, so on my count of 3, you'll pause the video. 1, 2, 3. Okay, students, welcome back. I hope you were adorable and you have paused the video and you did the entire exercise of vocabulary yourself. Now we'll discuss the answers. So, the fishermen catch huge amount of fish every day. Catch. So here, catch means to catch. Basically, the work being carried out. Okay. So it is a verb. So we have to circle the verb. The fresh catch is sold in a bazaar every morning. The fresh catch. So fresh catch is working as a noun over here. Okay. So we'll underline second catch because second catch is noun. You got right, students? Very good. Now second, they will turn around and face. They will turn around and face. So as we can identify that here the action turn around and face. So both are the action. So face is a action. So you have to circle as it is action word and that is verb. Now the other one is the face they long to see. So the other face is being used as noun. Now third one, I challenge you to bet me at the chess challenge. I repeat, I challenge you to bet me at the chess challenge. So the first challenge is challenge, action. So it is a verb. And other challenge is a noun. Okay, so we have to underline it. Now fourth, we often joke. So here joking is a verb. It is an action. So you have to circle about the joke. So here joke is considered as thing. So we'll consider it as noun and underline the other joke. My sister told us on New Year's Eve. Now moving forward towards fifth one, we label the workbooks with red labels. So first label, we label. So first label is an action. So what we will do, circle it, the workbooks with the red label. So here red label is a thing. So we'll underline label as it is a noun. Moving forward towards the sixth one, we will race to reach the venue of the race of the time. We will race. So first we will race. So it is an action. So we'll circle it. To reach the venue of the race. So venue of the race. So here race is a venue. So basically it is a noun. So we'll underline it. Then seventh one, Meera answers the telephone whenever I telephone her. So first, Meera answers the telephone. So first telephone is a thing. So we'll underline it as a noun. Wherever telephone her. Whenever I telephone her. So another telephone is a kind of action. So another telephone will be circled as a verb. Eighth one, we will use this paddle and paddle downstream. So first paddle is a thing, object. So we'll underline it. And paddle downstream. Paddle means to do the action, to paddle down. So that is something which is a verb. So we'll circle it. Notice the results of our action. They always results in soil erosion. Notice the results of our action. They always results in soil erosion. So first result is a thing. So you are supposed to underline it as it is a noun. Another result is a action. So it should be circled as a verb. Now 10th, we can grill the vegetable. So grilling the vegetable. So that is verb. So what you will do? You'll circle it. Another grill is a thing. So we will underline it as a noun. Okay students, I hope you got all right. And even if you might have got any few of them or any of them wrong, you would have been corrected. Okay students, is that okay? Okay. Now, moving forward towards the grammar section, I have already made you learn the adjectives. Okay, students, I have made you learn the adjectives. Now, we have a paragraph. We have a paragraph, and you have to read that paragraph and underline the adjectives. I repeat, you have to read the paragraph and underline the adjectives. On my count of three, what you'll do is, okay, so on my count of three, what you'll do is you'll pause the video and read the entire paragraph. Entire three paragraphs are given, so you'll read the entire passage. Okay, once you are while reading only, you'll underline the adjectives. Go on reading and keep underlining the adjectives. I repeat, go on reading and keep underlining the adjectives. And after you have completed underlining the adjective, you can play the video again and see the answers. Okay, I'll repeat students. You'll read the entire paragraph. You'll go on while reading only, you will go on underlining the adjectives, and then you'll watch that whether the answers are matching or not. Okay, after that, the second question says list the adjective of your underline in the passage. So you have to list down all the adjectives which you have underlined in the passage. And in the right side column, so on the right side column, you have to mention what kind of adjective it is. I'll repeat it again, students. On my count of three, you'll pause the video. Once you have paused the video, on page number 24, you can see a passage, question 1 passage. You have to read that passage. While reading, you'll go on underlining the adjectives. Okay. After you complete that, you can go on question 2. You can list down all the adjectives which you have underlined above. After that, on the right hand side of your column, you have to write the kind of adjective. We have already discussed the kinds of adjective. Kinds of adjectives are quality adjective, quantity adjective, number adjective, and interrogative adjective and possessive adjective. So we have learned those adjectives. You have to write which type of adjective it is. After you get completed with this, you can play the video and check your answers. I repeat, you can play the video and check your answers. I hope I am very much clear, students. So, on my count of three, you have to pause. One, two, three. Okay, students. So, we have the answers on the screen. From the passage, we have adjectives like third, little, bright, huge, dry, black, very, dark, steep, cheerful, great. You can check the answers. Third, little, bright, huge, dry, black, weary, dark, steep, cheerful, great. So these are the adjectives. Okay, students. Now, list you. I hope you have already listed the adjectives and even identified the kind of adjective. So we'll check. Third is adjective of number. Very good. Little is adjective of quality. Bright is adjective of quality, as it shows the quality. Huge is adjective of quality. Dry is adjective of quality. Black is adjective of quality. Weary is adjective of quality. Dark is adjective of quality. Steep is adjective of quality. Cheerful is adjective of quality. Great is adjective of quality. Students, I hope you have got all correct. Okay. Now, again, on page number 25, you have already written the email. I know you guys are very adorable and very obedient students. So I hope you might have, in fact, not might, I'm sure that you would have completed your email writing in notebooks, in your comprehension notebook. And today we have a new email. Open your page number 25. Open your page number 25. Here it is written, your school is celebrating Children's Day. Your teacher has told you that you can bring your family to visit the school on this day. A magic show, storytelling session, exhibition of children's artwork, and a dance and drama festival will be held in your school. Write an email to your grandparents or another member of your family, inviting them to your school to celebrate Children's Day. Tell them about the event you are participating in. So you are given the brief description about the Children's Day celebration. So what you have to do is you have to invite any of your family member or your grandparents to the school, describing about the events taking place on this function. So again, on my count of three, you'll pause the video and complete the entire exercise. Once you are completed, I repeat, once you are completed with writing, you can play the video. You can play the video. You can take help. You can play the video, and then after that you have to listen one email written over here so that you get the idea of how the email is being written, or whether the format which you have followed is right or wrong. If wrong, Then you have to rub it out and write it again so that your mistakes are being rectified. Okay, but you don't have to copy it, students. You have to do it yourself. I'm discussing here so that you get the format correctly. Okay, so again, on my count of three, you have to pause the video, write it down, and then check whether your format and everything is right or wrong. Okay, I don't want the exact words, but I want the proper sentence formation. What you'll take care of? You'll take care of sentence framing. You'll make the correct sentence. You have to arrange in the sequential format. Just like first of all, you'll ask about their health, how are they doing, whether they are doing good or not, whether everything is going well or not. After that, the third thing is you'll describe that why you are writing the letter, and then you'll say that hope you'll come and you'll have a great fun, like that, and with love and your name, like this a format should go. Okay, now on my count three. Okay, so I have I have I have already said that you have to take care of your sentence formation, you have to take care of sequence, and yes, very important thing. You have to take care of your spellings too. See that you don't make any mistakes in spellings. Okay, so now finally on my count of three, you can pause the video. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, students, hope you have written the entire email very nicely. Now, here is a sample of email, like a kind of. Check your format. First, you have written from, that is your email ID, to the email ID whom you are writing, and subject, that is of course the invitation. So you have to write invitation in the subject. Then you'll write dear grandpa and grandma. Okay. Hope you both are doing well. I have some very exciting news to share. My school is organizing an interesting event next week on the Children's Day. Look what she did. She first of all asked about their health and well-being. Okay. Then she described that there is something very exciting she want to share. And then she started with, my school is organizing an interesting event next week on Children's Day. Then you have given the date. The Children's Day is of course being celebrated on November 14th. There will be a magic show, a storytelling session, an exhibition of children's artwork, and dance and drama festival. Okay, here you have given the brief description about the event. Now, I am participating in storytelling competition. You have to participate as per your wish. Like you can participate in dance, or you can participate in artwork or drama or anything. Okay, so you have to tell them that in which function you are participating. Here we have Avni who is participating in storytelling. I plan to tell the story of Cuckoo in the Yard. I remember telling you and Grandma the story. You both liked it a lot. I hope the judges like it too. So what does she say? That I remember that I always used to narrate you the stories, and both of you were always enjoying listening to my stories. So today also I hope that you'll like it, and the judges too. The event will be held at my school at 1 p.m. I hope you and Grandma will be able to make it. I will wait for you. Love, Avni. Okay, students. So this is a kind of letter. This is a sample email returned to the grandparent. You can write any kind of it. Okay. The format should be followed, and take care of your spelling mistakes. Take care of your sentence formations. Okay. So students, we are completed with course book exercise. We are completed with workbook exercise as well. And now in the next class, we'll start with a new chapter. Okay, students, have a good day. Stay safe. Take care of yourself as well as your family. God bless you. Have a good day.